Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again, OnSight Media Group Podcast. Your guy Antrell, my guy Cash,
What's
AK.
good?
That's the look right there, AK.
It's an AK.
No gun reference though. Yeah, just Antrell and Cash, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going.
I get it. I got
I don't
you.
know where I'm going. But it's been a while since we did this, bro.
Definitely been a minute.
And it's been a lot that has happened in media, in music, in our area. And I want to get into a couple things. Where I want to start. I want to start with Billboard. Did you see this report that Billboard put out about the greatest female hip-hop artist of all time? Listen, in order to keep up with the latest content, knowing we're dropping new episodes, new podcasts, new material, make sure you are subscribed. OnSight Media Group on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms at OnSight Media Group. Make sure you click that notification bell so you know every single time that we drop new content on the channel, all right? According to Billboard.com, and the way it's scrolling on my phone, I got to go 25-1. So 25, Tierra Whack. 24, Doechii. 23, Gangsta Boo. 22, Lady of Rage, West Coast. 21, Glorilla. 20, Moni Love. 19 is Lotto. 18, Remy Ma. And this is definitely one I don't agree with. Rhapsody, 17.
Oh, wow.
We gonna talk about it though. Doja Cat, 16. Come on, phone, don't let me down. Doja Cat is 16.
Meg at 15. Meg Thee Stallion.
Yep.
Left Eye at 14. Trina comes in at 13. The Brat number 12. Cardi B number 11. And then the top 10, you have Foxy Brown. Oh, my phone just tweaked.
Yeah, you pulling up on your phone, you getting all the ads and everything.
Yeah,
like
what just happened?
Yeah.
Number 9 is Eve. Number 8 is Roxanne Shante. 7 is Salt and Pepper, which I don't like that because whenever we make top male hip hop lists, they do not add Outkast on the list. So I think they should keep the same criteria when it comes to, adding duos, because it's 2 separate females just like Outkast. Which number 6 is MC Lyte. Oh yeah, they need to make a Billboard app. They probably got one.
6 is MC Lyte. 5 is Latifah. That's what it was. 5 is Latifah, Queen Latifah. 4 is Lil Kim. 3 is Lauryn Hill. 2 is Missy Elliott. And 1 is Nicki Minaj. So, the reason I want to talk about it is, did they get it right? Of course, this is an opinionated type of situation. But my take, your take, did they get it right? I don't disagree with the majority of the artists on the list.
Yeah.
I personally disagree with where some of these ladies are placed, some of these queens. Let me rephrase that. Where some of these queens are placed. Rhapsody being one. I am, of course, from North Carolina. I am a big fan of Rhapsody. But overall, when we're talking lyricism, which I feel should be one of the criteria, I feel like it is. I didn't research what the criteria was for them to compile this list. But definitely, if we're talking lyricism, then to me, Rhapsody should be top 5. I think one of the things that comes to it would be actual album sales or streams. But again, we're talking the artistry, the technique of rap itself. To me, Rhapsody is way too low. And then
I think she's there, like just based off of like overall like streams and sales. Lyrically, if the list was being done lyrically, she would be way higher. You know what I'm saying? Way higher. Like Nicki Minaj has lost rap battles to two of the females on the list, so she wouldn't even be higher than them if we was talking like, you know what I'm saying, like lyrics, because Kim and Remy Ma.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So for me, yeah, and you brought her up, Nicki. Is Nicki number one on this list? So as far as actual, I think what makes her number one is the amount of streams that she has done. I don't know what the equation is from streams, the number of streams to generate album sales. But the reason why I argue Nicki is number one, and it should be Missy, from my opinion, is what Missy did for the culture. Of hip hop overall, right? I'm not gonna argue that Missy is the top lyricist or a top lyricist.
She's like a top producer.
And again, we're talking the culture. We're talking what is your contribution to the genre of rap music, the production, the writing, the artists that she's worked with. She influenced the style of writing, these repetitive hooks that became popular. And again, bridging that gap between rap and R&B, like Missy is in a class of her own. But, you know, with Nicki, I think it comes down to, I don't know if it's her top record, but that Super Bass record, which was probably one of the more, I think it's Super Bass. It crossed over into popular music, but it's still on the rap chart. So, and then with, you know,
Yeah, it was her
females,
yeah.
that took off. Teenage girls, just that whole energy.
I think with Nicki, a lot of because honestly, if I feel like if Cardi B would have kept her pressure on, 'cause we only got one album from Cardi. If Cardi would have kept her pressure on, I don't feel like Cardi was like rap ever in a tier with Nicki Minaj. You know, but it's like based on where the social media culture and everything, following her, all type of stuff like that. If she would have been consistent, you know, she could have been probably more necessarily popular than Nicki Minaj. She could have been today, or Nicki Minaj would have been yesterday, or like, you know, the legend from the past, just like Kim is that to her. You know what I'm saying? You go back forward from Kim, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of them you could say. You could say Queen Latifah, you could say MC Lyte, you could say, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of them that really put on. All of them was queens back in the day.
True.
You know, but with Nicki, you know, Nicki did the song with Ice Spice, The Barbie World, when the Barbie movie came out. And that song was attached to it. Then she dropped her album. That was the single. She dropped the album, which made the album sales go crazy. Crossover album sales, because she took the song Barbie's Girl, whatever, Barbie's World, and she flipped it into something, you know what I'm saying, modern day. So it's crossover. You get everybody from the, you know, that attached to it. Even the parents that might probably want to let their kids listen to Nicki Minaj. Oh, this song is safe. It's, you know, because of the nostalgia that they may have from it.
Yep.
And she did the touring. So it's like, with doing touring, she's doing like full stadium tours, and it's like selling out. You know what I'm saying? Madison Square Garden selling out. Like everywhere she's been going on her tour has been selling out. And when it comes to any artist, a lot of artists haven't even did that since COVID.
That's very true. That's very true. And speaking of touring, like, again, for Missy, I think she went on her first tour in 2024. She toured with Sierra and Busta Rhymes. But, you know, for Missy to be a 2000s artist and to never go on any tours, and I didn't look up what the numbers were on her first tour, I feel like it would have been successful. But again, I don't disagree with you on how the culture, the mediums of music has changed and how you're able to cross-brand between, you know, television, film, and music. You're able to generate more presence. So If those avenues would have been available to Missy, would it be a different story? I think that's debatable, but
I feel like and during that era, I was younger, and like I've heard Missy music and whatnot, and I can't really think I've ever heard any music that's been necessarily bad from her. But I think coming from the position that she was coming from, playing like the background like so long, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that she knew how talented she was, so she was able to already have the position to get her songs and placements. I don't think that she tried to go and do that, or like even like for me being younger, like I would probably never like checked for Missy. Like I heard her music because she played on the radio, but for me and probably like people that's like my age and probably even younger probably wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? But now I was just watching an interview with the Breakfast Club and Ja Rule, and basically was saying like how the modern day kids, they look at Ja Rule like he one of their artists, like he's doing great, doing shows and all that type of stuff too. And it's like nostalgia music. So it's like now the younger kids want to go and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Even like for them, So I think right now within doing touring, this is like where the money's at. And then think about touring too. Touring back in the days before COVID, it wasn't what it is now. After like Live Nation and like how much they make off touring, all the money's in touring. Like
true
artists that
indeed.
signed the labels,
True indeed.
they not getting paid unless they doing that touring stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're getting paid. So.
Nah, that's a great point. Great point. Great point. And I think by touring, the artists get to keep more of the revenue. It doesn't go to the label as much, especially if they're, backing their own tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that's a great point. But again, we ain't have to spend too much time on it. I said my piece.
It was wild, right? Because when I started seeing all the lists come out, I was like, dang, that's crazy. And I didn't even want to really jump on like the train, right? But I had this list right here probably a month before those lists start coming out, right? And this is a different type of list.
Oh, this is beautiful. No, we got to talk about this. We on air right now. The top 50 greatest black singers of all time. Yeah, I can't just sit here with dead air. You got Aretha Franklin, Whitney, Mariah, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, Prince. Prince is too low for me on your list.
No. So actually,
Luther Vandross,
I actually did
Beyonce.
a revision. I did a revision. Prince is actually number 4 on my list. Let me see.
Okay,
That's not the right one.
I can dig that.
I had to go back and listen, right? Because me growing up, I grew up old school. I grew up in the house with my grandparents, and it was like, for me, Temptation or Michael Jackson. When I used to celebrate like holidays and stuff like that, every Halloween I ever went out as every Michael Jackson. Now I'm been the Thriller Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? The Jackson 5 Michael Jackson, the White Michael Jackson, been them all.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So it was like, when I first was like putting it together, I was Michael Jackson biased. And then even my grandmother was like, she was like Stevie Wonder, like Prince. She was like Luther Vandross. She's like, they all sing better than Michael Jackson. I'm like, you're bugging. What are you talking about? So then I go and I listen. I went on and like listened, and it's like Prince's voice is so undeniable. I think like it's Whitney, there's Mariah, then there's Aretha. I really went back and like listened to him, and then Prince. Prince hit so many different, like his range of his voice, and it's like oh my gosh, it's like we're not even talking about like the instruments. We're talking about just pure voice.
Absolutely.
And it's like, yo, none of these other guys do this. And I wasn't a Prince fan because, growing up, it's like Prince or Michael. We've even asked that question, Prince or Michael. For me, it was Michael.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up and I seen Prince. I seen, in my eyes, this was my perspective. So
I was a Prince fan because of, and I think this is relevant today, the catalog. Like nobody put out the amount of work. I remember when I was in my teens, Prince had a 4 CD set list or a set. And it had like 50, 60 songs on it. And that was just the greatest of. And it was a lot of music that he didn't release. Like his album's coming out now that have unreleased music on it. So the catalog from Prince was ridiculous. And then Prince was the first person that I ever knew to do an entire soundtrack. He did the Batman soundtrack. What was that, 92, 93? Like,
it's in my other phone. The actual updated list is in my other phone.
oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
but
we definitely gotta put it out. I just like I was working on lists, and it was like, you know, we've talked about like me in like a space of hip hop, and it's like it's definitely a love, but you know, trying to expand out into other, you know, things and really like pull us into being like an all around, you know what I'm saying, like media group. So it was like I'm thinking of like I ain't never seen nobody ever. I haven't seen the top 50 singers list, black singers list. I've never seen one. It's a lot that goes into it, but I haven't, you know.
I would say I commend you for even attempting to put it together because it is so many.
Mm-hmm.
And to really narrow it down, like we already know the criticism, the backlash that comes behind just generating our opinion and saying this is what we feel.
Mm-hmm.
We know how that go, but so I commend you for even attempting it. But I think that's like the difficulty in it. It's just so many that it's wide open.
It is, and I was even forgetting people like putting it together. Like I had put it together, and then I was like, yo, Wanye from Boyz II Men, like.
Oh, incredible voice, now.
And so it's like I kept, it's like I kept going back, and I'm like, it's too many. It's really too many to do 50. But even when you span out from 50, it's like you're constantly doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you'll hear something like, oh nah. You know what I'm saying? And a person that really shocked me because it's before my time was Marvin Gaye. My grandmother mentioned Marvin Gaye. She was even like, Marvin Gaye sing better than Michael Jackson. I'm like, you're bugging. Like this stuff is killing me. It was like hurting my pride that my grandmother was saying this stuff. Like, what are you talking about? I went to listen to Marvin Gaye. The old school Motown stuff where he had like the higher pitch. Then the stuff with like him and Tammy to like the later stuff with like the sexual healing where he added like that grown man into it. You know what I'm saying? But it still was like, I'm like, yo, his voice got a range too. It was like a range.
Absolutely.
You know, I think Michael could definitely sing and was like,
I don't deny Michael could sing. I think the thing that
he's like entertainer.
Yes.
He's entertainer.
He combined the dancing and the popularity already spanning from the Jackson 5 coming into his solo career. And then you got one of the greatest writers. You got Quincy. Why did I brain fart right now? Quincy Jones behind you. Like your team was already there since before. So from an entertainment standpoint, I think we could make that same argument about the Nicki and the Missy, right? Michael is not gonna be overlooked. Everybody's gonna think Michael just because of how great of an entertainer he was. So I think
Michael's held to a high standard because he still to this day he has like the highest selling album of all time, which is Thriller. So you know what I'm saying? And Thriller is like. When it came out, I don't even know when it came out. It's over 25 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I know it's definitely the 80s. I remember my dad had the making of the music video. And that was another one. Who made a mini movie, a short film out of a music video. And you got the whole making of the video.
He might have started that.
That's a great argument.
I don't remember they was doing it on BET, like the making of the video. Yeah. You know, I remember watching that growing up. And you go back, he might have been a person that, you know.
It's very, very possible. Very possible. Shout out to every artist on the list. Shout out to you for putting the list together because I would have never thought about it.
It's definitely gonna come. It's definitely, you know, like it's, you know, and no matter what, somebody's always gonna feel some type of way.
We don't care about that.
I had to tell myself that, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's what is.
We stand on everything we do here at OnSight Media Group. If we put it out, that's just the way we feel. We need to put a disclaimer like these are just our thoughts, our opinions. It is whatever you feel. Let us know that. Yeah, let us know that. Holla at us. Get at us. Let us know why we got it right, why we got it wrong, all that. Let's start the conversation. That's what it's about. Let's start the conversation. Let's engage in constructive criticism, healthy conversation to help grow the culture. That's all I got for that right there. But yeah, great job on putting that list together. And we talking new music. Listen, so you made a statement last year.
Go ahead.
You made a statement last year when we did the up and coming artist list earlier in January. And you made a statement that you felt it was a drop off of music from our area in 2024.
How you feel about that right now?
How I feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the pressure's on. Pressure's on. All bats are swinging. And from what I've heard from this area, people are knocking it out the park. Like straight Aaron Judd home runs.
Okay. How many players in the field?
It's a lot. And I don't even think I could name all of them. But from what I've heard, personally from what I've heard, I know we have new music from Billy Bands. He released a song.
I seen that.
Big Up released a couple projects.
Oh, Big Up.
Christian rapper Marco Fiji, he released a project.
Oh, okay. I need to talk about.
I don't know if it's officially out, but I know, and this is one of the things that I love about what we do. We get the privilege of hearing unreleased music, and we've heard, I don't think it's the full project, but we've heard at least half a project from LLC Dom and Tyrone Devine. I don't know if he's Southman on that project or not. That's one of those other things too. You need to let us know that.
He did a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. I remember Tyrese dropped a project years back that was called Black Tie, and it was a 2-disc set. So the first CD was Tyrese the singer, but then the other disc was Black Tie the rapper. So I don't know what, because we know Tyrone Devine makes love music, but Southman is the producer.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
So is it a LLC Dom Southman project, or is it a LLC Dom Tyrone Devine?
Or T Will.
Or T Will. So he has T Will, Southman, Tyrone Devine. You have to chime in and personally let us know. What are you on this album? But we ain't gonna spend too much time on that.
I think it's still
the music was fire.
I think it's still Tyrone Devine. My bad. I think it's still Tyrone Devine because I think while he does have the studio, the name for each of these settings, like I feel like he's very much in tune with like branding. Like when you put like an artist out, you know what I'm saying? Like even when T.I. did T.I. versus T.I.P., he didn't go make another separate entity artist for T.I.P. because now you got to build people to go over to this now when they could just keep coming to T.I. and get T.I.P. too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I dig it. So again, I don't know if that project was released, but we did get privileged to hearing that.
If it's not, then y'all, you know,
the world get ready.
Yeah,
what's the timetable? Because we've heard it. So I'm still looking for it on Spotify, on Apple Music. I haven't seen anything, but again,
definitely.
I've heard at least, I feel like same thing. I've heard at least 7-8 songs from a Legacy No Limit project.
Legacy's working.
Actually, been in the grind with Legacy. Completed a couple visuals. Don't know what the timetable is, but new music from Legacy. And then, of course, I feel like I'm the anticipation. I'm trying to build it up, but the 2 albums that have officially come out.
Oh, hold on, before we get there.
Go ahead. No.
When you speaking of all the shakers, and this is just generally accent within.
And I could have missed some people. I don't know. This is just what I've seen. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Over the past few months, I haven't necessarily been, like I got certain people like starred on like Apple Music and whatnot. So when they drop it, automatically come to me. But I don't have everybody's music like that. So over like the past 4 or 5 months, I haven't necessarily been on the scene as I've been over the past 4 or 5 years, right? Watching, you know what I'm saying? But I heard you mention all those people, but you didn't mention Cassius.
I personally haven't seen anything from Cassius this year.
Okay.
I have not seen anything 2025. We know he was on an incredible run 2024. Absolutely. Like I don't think anybody put in as much work in 2024 as Cassius did. But again, and I'm like you, I'm looking at the promotion that the artists do themselves, and and what comes up on our radar.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen Cassius as much on the music side. I've definitely seen his presence online.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him on the music side. Doesn't mean he hasn't dropped anything.
Oh, that's true.
And I cannot forget Solomon Hedden. Same thing. I know it's a project coming. I haven't heard the full project, but I've heard at least 3-4 records off of him. I don't know what the timetable is. That Aurora single that he put out, I added that to a playlist. I'm gonna leave that there. That's a different topic. But I think it was the beginning of April. We had Wil Eye and Felipe
all back to back, same day.
dropped the same day.
Same day.
Which is, I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if this was like a competition. I remember, was it 50 Cent and Kanye West dropped on the same day one year? I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to speculate anything, but for those two projects to drop same day gave us hits, gave us substance. Two different styles, but both very. I'm gonna just put it out there. That was the wrong camera. I'm gonna just put it out there. If you have not listened to these projects, and this is no shade on any of the other artists that we have talked about, go listen to everybody. But if you have not heard this Felipe, Book of Phillip, or this Wil Eye, I wonder you are doing an injustice to yourself if you claim to be a hip hop artist.
If you claim to be from the trap and you ain't listen to them albums.
That too.
If you listen to them albums, then you're doing a disservice to the city. You know what I'm saying? To like really like greatness on the rise. Like both of those albums for me, I respected them on a different level than, you know what I'm saying, I've seen some of the other projects come, because first track all the way through the last track, Philippe's project, every song produced by Southman, all the way through. On Wil Eye, every song by Rob Young, all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So,
and both are no skips, in my opinion.
Both
albums, no skips, front to back. You're gonna vibe. It's beautiful.
Rob, the I Wonder sample was crazy. That was crazy.
Listen, I did the interview with Rob a couple years ago when he dropped the step scene, and I asked him specifically, like Rob Young, the producer, we don't get that too much anymore. I think it's reserved for special talents.
It's definitely like, you know, whenever I was listening to like the project and I was like the producer, I was like, dang, I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? I feel type of way. Cause I literally threw one of Rob's cousins, Biz, you know what I'm saying? He'll know. I used to work with his cousin like 2016, 17, and he linked us up. I went all the way down to Atlanta and met up with Rob and whatnot. We sat in the car, listened to my music and whatnot. He gave me great feedback. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to work with him because I knew I know you know the ins and outs of how they get, you know what I'm saying? The first time when I met Nathan, you know what I'm saying, everything like that. You know, I went down to Atlanta, and I was like, dang, you know, I really wanted to work with Rob. After I got back, I never heard back from him.
Never heard back.
And I was like, I must not have
Shout
made
out
the
Nathan
cut.
Wayne. Nathan Wayne. I believe Nathan Wayne. Same deal. I've heard a few songs. I remember doing a show with them back in, was that 2024? That might have been 2024. I remember doing a show, and Nathan Wayne premiered some new music. He got this whole like this country hip hop. I don't even want to categorize it, but that's another one.
He switched the style up?
Nathan Wayne, Rob Young. When is that project coming? So again,
I got an old school. I got it from when I went down there. They had a fresh project that they had out. I actually still got it. It's like, I want to say it's like a world or something he's standing on top of. You know what I'm saying? I still got it. I like every CD I've ever got from any artist that's been local to this city, I still got it. You know what I'm saying? I'll pull them out and just pop them in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes just ride through with the windows down just to let the outside people hear it. Like, yo, who's that?
Absolutely. That's how they learn. Absolutely.
You know.
So again, yeah,
You want to get into these
20,
projects though?
2025 is been a great year. And we only in the this is May. We only in the first half of the year. And it's already so I'm excited to see, what these next 6-7 months are gonna produce and how we gonna finish. But yeah, we definitely off to the races. Get into the projects.
Anything that stood out on the projects? Let's talk about Wil Eye first.
Wil Eye. What stood out on Wil Eye's project to me? I would definitely say, we recently did the on-site interview with Wil Eye. And one of the things that surprised me was in that interview, I specifically asked, like, what's the deadline? I mean, not the deadline, but what's the date? Like, when can we expect the project to come? And his answer was, you'll get a tape by the end of the year. I think that album was released 2 to 3 weeks later. Like, and he just so calm, so cool. I'm not even gonna let you. The right hand cannot know what the left is doing. I'm not giving you no inkling on when it's coming. He just said expect a fresh sound. He said it was totally different from his first project, The Thug's Diary. I agree with that 100%. The growth, the maturity, the subject matter, the topics, like we talking about feelings. I didn't know Wil was a singer like that. Like he got some, he really bringing out his harmony chops. He got I feel like I'm not going to categorize it, but he has a song with another local legend from this area, Nakia Latrell. He has a R&B joint with Nakia Latrell, dope record.
Yeah, now the whole project's fire. From the artwork all the way through, you know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
I like the artwork. It was definitely different. It stood out, catch your attention. You know what I'm saying? For me, I've heard of Wil Eye. Obviously being partner with you in this group, and you've had interactions with him. Through Jonathan has had interactions with him. I'm probably like the only media one that haven't had the interactions with him like personally. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I heard one of his songs one time before. I think you had played like a song, and it was like okay. But I was like in a mode where like I listened to every artist from out here, so like it didn't like stand out. This project right here, I will like this project. What we in this decade? No matter what come, I'm gonna put this project in one of the top 10 that's gonna come out of the trap for this decade, and we ain't even through the decade. So that's speaking on future projects that y'all are gonna drop. It made me be like, yo, bro's really a artist. That's why Rob didn't work with me. I wasn't there yet.
No, I agree with you.
But nah, bro's definitely an artist. I like the grind. After I seen it, I was talking about potential ventures and stuff like that because it's like, yo, let's, you know what I'm saying? Bruh's definitely dope. Yo, keep doing what you're doing. I'm pretty sure you already had a following, but when you dropped your project, bro, you gained another fan. You know what I'm saying? Automatically, even though I've never met you, would have automatically been a supporter. I support every artist from the city. I want to see everybody from out here win. You know what I'm saying? So now you got a supporter that is genuine and a fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when I feel like that, I be in different spaces and I'm sharing the music out. I'm telling people like, yo, it's a new project. Anybody be coming to me about people in the industry? I don't even listen to the rappers in the industry. They too what's the word I'm looking for? They too genocidal.
I don't disagree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to
subject matter.
Our people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like degrading to our people. So it's like a lot of that stuff is like, but when I hear like something that's like real music, that's like art, you know what I'm saying? That's art. It's like I put a different respect on it. I came across a crazy saying, right? And was in a conversation talking about hip hop, and I just want to speak to it because I want to speak to like the statement I made about the industry music, and then like, bro, like really being an artist, right? I heard somebody say that art started out, hip hop started out as people putting. I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to misquote it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go back to it. This quote is so fire, and it goes along. I'm gonna bring it back because I don't want to misquote it. It needs to be said right.
I got you. And while you looking that up, I don't disagree with you from the standpoint of both of these albums, both of these artists created timeless music. Mm-hmm. So I definitely agree with you from the standpoint of 5-10 years from now, you can still put these songs on and vibe to them like they just came out last week. Mm-hmm. They definitely captured an energy, a feeling in these records. Both of them, Wil Eye's project and also Phillip's project. I think for me, the top thing, I don't necessarily have a top song, but it's the way that, and I'm speaking specifically on the Book of Phillip, the mm-hmm. way that he structured the album. Mm-hmm. And it even goes to his artwork, like the Book of Phillip. Mm-hmm. It has a biblical reference. Mm-hmm. And then as you listen to it, like he starts off with like a prayer. Uh-huh. And how he's tying this all back to God. Like it's
This is one of my most listened to Phillip projects. Like I've listened to this project probably close to like 10 times. This is like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole project. Like I've heard other songs more than 10 times just due to like promotion and whatnot that he's done and us sharing certain stuff. But like whole album, you know what I'm saying? And I've listened to all of his projects.
Right.
This one right here was definitely different for me because I felt like, and you've asked him this, you know what I'm saying, and he's heard it. Definitely being from here, he always hears the comparison to like the codes and whatnot. I feel like this project stops that.
Absolutely.
This project stops that. If you're just saying it at this time, it's like you're ignorant. You're not even listening to his music. This project, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. Like after hearing both projects, I reached out to. Well, I hadn't personally talked to Rob, mm-hmm. but I definitely reached out to Wil. I reached out to T. Wil. I reached out to Phillip, and I don't even want to project negativity on the podcast, but I told them all honestly, my fear is that this art won't get the recognition that it deserves simply because of where we come from. Mm. Again, I don't necessarily want to project that negativity, but we know the reality mm-hmm. of the situation. And from the craftsmanship that all of these individuals put in to make, like this definitely absolutely screams. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is authenticity. Mm-hmm. This is a piece of my soul encapsulated into mm-hmm. this 30, 40 minutes on each project. Like man, y'all just do yourself a favor and go listen to these records. That's what I got.
I feel like this, right? And it's also something I want to point out about Phillip's album too. But I feel like this, when it comes to speaking on the disservice that potentially be done to this area not fully supporting it. Ultimately, in my opinion, I think I spoke to this before. Post-COVID, everybody know that my platform outside of this is Sanford versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that started as a platform that was for artists to be able to get recognition and be able to be seen. Before I started that platform by myself, before COVID hit, I went around and I reached out to almost every active artist in the city, DJs, radio personalities, and basically had a lot of people that was in motion and be on board. And I was basically trying to build an artist union, right? I understood that if the artists from the city come together and they show initial support all the way across the board, what that does is it makes the naysayers in the city come behind and support us, because everybody from the city supports at least one of these artists. So when you bring all the artists together, and now we got a central hub, and we're doing mixtapes, showcases, and all this type of stuff like this, on this level. Let me know if I'm too loud.
No, you good. You good. You good.
And we doing this type of stuff like that, and we showing unity. What that does is it unites the city on a whole nother different level. And I spoke to this, like I said, all the way back in 2018, 2019, before COVID, even hit. I've been an iPhone user since the 4, so I can easily go on my notes and then can scroll back and tell you a name of like 20 to 25 artists, DJs, and everything I've talked to from this area. I was really trying to build it out. COVID happened. It didn't happen. After it was trying to get back outside, I tried to revamp it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? But the actual concept of uniting together and building something, that is what ultimately makes these artists win, right? The different mindsets and the strikes in between them is like, it gotta stop. It's artists that's been doing this for 10, 15 plus years. It's artists that start doing this yesterday. We all in the same place. Because
Absolutely.
therefore ain't none of y'all made it. The guy that's been doing it forever, don't big yourself up. You know what I'm saying? And and it's multiple of them that do it. They put themselves on this like, I'm not like them, you know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. And they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's the wrong energy to take, right? Because I've heard other artists even speak on these artists in different situations where they feel like they think they better than us, or such a thing, he better than us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what it does is you lose support, because now you get this artist that may have a movement within the city, and they saying, nah, now all his people don't support you. And it's like, well, what if this guy that started yesterday know somebody? Because a lot of times it's not about, you know what I'm saying, what you do is about who you know.
Absolutely.
What if they know somebody and they get walked through the door, and now they the next biggest artist, you know what I'm saying? And then what everybody gonna be doing? They gonna be trying to, When you gotta show that love right here. You gotta show that love right here. The older artists, y'all should be OGs, and y'all should support the newer artists. Things that they don't know, you supposed to do this. This is what you do to little brothers, right? This is why our community is broke. You know what I'm saying? Not just beyond music. This is why our community broke, because they don't know how to put their arm, you know what I'm saying, around the youngin that's in it and guide them. Yo, this, you know what I'm saying? This the way over here. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do that, you might. They always say rap is a young man's game, right? It's the only genre of music they put an age on. Rap is a young man's game. So when you already and that when you at 28, 29, it's like, if you ain't going your gusto, you can make music all your life. You can build a fan base within your region and do whatever all your life. But as in getting like major, after a certain age, you know what I'm saying, it's harder to get those deals, because they're looking at the longevity of how long can they promote you to the youth. That's the ones that support the music. You know what I'm saying? How long can we promote you to them, especially if you're not making genocidal type music? You know what I'm saying? Music that, like, if you're not making music that's like that, or degrading type music, they're not pushing you.
That's a great point. I don't disagree with anything you said. And I think the other layer to it would be that when you do have the artist that look at the younger generation of artists and try to give them that wisdom, is that wisdom perceived? It could be two things. Number one, how did I present this information to help you grow as an artist? And then number two, are you willing to accept? Are you willing to be humble enough to accept that you don't necessarily know everything? You're still growing, and you could take some constructive feedback from somebody else. Because ultimately, if you go to a label, if your goal is to get a major label to sign you, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to mold you into who they want you to be, so that they can make the most capital gain off of you. Exactly what you said. So now it's, well, you gotta rap like this. You gotta talk about these things in order for us to put your music out. Now, are you a true artist, or are you a robot? Are you a industry plant, as we've heard? So I don't disagree with that. I definitely think one of the things that holds us back is we're not always receptive of the constructive criticism, of the feedback. And then for the ones giving it, how are we presenting that information to say, look, I'm not trying to turn you into a me. I'm not trying to change the trajectory of your career. But I see if you take these steps, or if you thought about doing these things, then you might get this type of result. So, great point. Great point.
Yeah. And even just a side note from the albums where we at, right? To just kind of reflect back to them. You need T. Wills and you need Rob Youngs.
Oh,
they are the
absolutely.
example, right? Because these guys are both OGs in the game that are still working. And I know for a fact T. Will is willing to work with any artist.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and that's the type of energy that, like, even the artists that work with him. It's like when when you walk around, if you're in the dark, you walk around light, a little bit of that light shine on you. It's like y'all should take a little bit of T. Will with y'all when y'all leave and notice that energy. Look at the rapport and the respect that he got. It's because he's naturally and generally shown love and support. You know what I'm saying? It could be a whole new artist. He not gonna be like, man, I've been doing this so long. I've been doing this since I was, you know what I'm saying, your age. You not there. He's,
listen. He put the flex out there very humble in his interview to where he said he's worked with all artists from all genres, but he is one of the few people that he knows that could go into any facility
and record.
in the country and record, can mix, master, sing, rap, do everything himself because he took that advice. He invested into himself, into his craft. And just like you said, he wants to see people win. So yeah. Shout out to T. Will, man. You don't get too many of those. And same thing with Rob Young. Like when we were making music, I remember Rob going on Facebook and saying, yo, I just finished this course at Berkeley, or all of y'all getting into, and this is the turn of the digital recording age. So now we're learning Ableton and Pro Tools and Cubase and all of these programs. He had just finished a course from Berkeley and was like, I give you my whole coursework. I give it to you. Well, not give it to you, but I'm making it available if you really want to invest into yourself. It's a small investment, minimal investment. And I think I was one of the only people to hit him up. And I've never recorded in Pro Tools a day in my life, but the knowledge that I got from just him being able to share that information with me taught me how to record in the program that I was comfortable with. And it also helped me build a rapport with Rob to where it was like, okay, you do a mix, you can send it to me. I'll listen to it, give you my feedback. And that helped me as a recording engineer for when we were recording. So, yes, how do you give that information? How you put that out? And are you humble enough to be used in that manner? Everybody has to be used at some point. How do we see it?
It's not even. I don't think the word is.
No, I don't want to say
I
that.
think the word is like guided. It should be like guidance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even if you get into these like labels, you may have guidance, but it's gonna be a controlled guidance. This right here could be just guidance off of building rapport. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's just things that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I went and have took courses and like business classes and all that type stuff like that. And even in one of the classes I had, I remember they talked about like synchronizing music, but it was like the way it was put together. It's like I had the notes, and it was like I wasn't getting a teacher. I'm like, I'll just come back to it. I got the information. I need to figure it out. I went to the session with T. Will, and he was talking to me and Looney Tune about synchronizing. And I'm like, dang, the dude in class was spinning. Like, he didn't have to do that. That's a way I could take music and be able to go and make a longevity of revenue forever by synchronizing to something. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of, just guidance. Like, yo, you thought about this, or it's definitely how you do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm using like T. Will because he's not the only example, but he's just a good example for it. And I think that's the type of energy that we should walk around with in the city. And whenever we bring that together and really, as artists, the creatives, not even just the artists, the creatives from the city, that's DJs, vendors, I look at them as being creatives too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, your daughter, she create candles, all that type of stuff.
Shout out Sis by Yaya. Had to get that in
Had
there.
to get that.
Had to get that in there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that was your alley hoop. Like, but even them, like if we all work together on like a huge level, all the stuff that's like being done here could be like, like bigger. You know what I'm saying? I even get like, I feel like myself, and I try to not really speak of myself because Andrew made a statement like, yo, you don't gotta, your flowers, they'll come, you know what I'm saying? But I look at myself, I transitioned from being an artist myself and made my main focus on helping other artists from the city. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the group once we kind of had a machine going to like any artist that would have really came to us. We had the podcast, we had studio, and we had engineers, we had management, we had, you know what I'm saying? We had DJs, we had radio connects, and we could have did all of this. And there was several times that you and Ye said there was other artists ain't trying to work. Cash, you the example. And I'm just like, had the whole machine behind me, and I still was choosing to put my energy there. That's the type of energy that we have to have, because it's like I see a bigger picture, right? And it's like me seeing a bigger picture. I want to try to get other people to see it. I can't be an artist to necessarily do it, at least not in the space of that timing, in my mindset. It's like everybody can't be a player. Somebody got to figure out how to be like, the coach, assistant coach. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be the water boy. Somebody got to, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody has to play their position. I agree 100%. And I think with that, it could still work, but something that brief conversation we had before we actually started the pod is sometimes people can't see the vision because it's not proven yet. Mm-hmm. So you have to have something on your portfolio that says, I am capable of doing this. And that's one of the things that I love about us starting the podcast, starting the media group, and actually keeping it going, is because now people can see, whether they're on board or not, they can see the momentum, they can see how we've come together to offer services for the community, how we're in the community giving back in different ways, and whether they choose to get on board with it or not. We're continuing to see the growth. Mm-hmm. And as long as we're determined that this is what we want to do, this is how we want to contribute to the area. Mm-hmm. And like you said, the right person to jump on board, and we'll build to the portfolio even more than what we're doing now. So no, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, I spoke on us like on one of our pods last year, and I was like on the media group versus like the artist. And even when I was talking about like us being a machine, and I think I even mentioned that artists can go and deal with or work with anybody, but I was like, it was about actually putting in the work, right? And I was speaking on us putting in the work, and I was like, the longevity of 5 years of where we will be positioned, you know what I'm saying, compared to some of the artists that's like, you know what I'm saying, y'all part-time, musicians, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not really artists, you just got the skill to rap. So I started looking at artists like that, because it's like, as a person who takes it serious and take my time serious, I burnt a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, dealing with artists that weren't serious. So it's like, well, now we got to look at it on this serious level and try to like move it forward. But those people like that, if we figure out how we can unite together, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to keep rambling. We figure out we unite together, we all win. You know what I'm saying? Look at the map. Look where you located at. You know what I'm saying? Look where Sanford located at, just in case, you know what I'm saying, other watchers watching this. You know what I'm saying? We support the whole, triangle surrounding areas. You know what I'm saying? Like our reach just isn't here, but this is home base. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the location, this is the best location for growth. So maybe hope everybody get back
Absolutely.
on board.
And I love it that we're showing people how to be humble, how to stay in the grind. Because I absolutely just hit the wrong camera for like 2 minutes of you talking right then, it's gonna be a blank spot. But it's all good because they can still hear the information.
All they gotta do is just have a picture of me there for the 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm gonna put the picture of you there too. Absolutely.
Yeah. But one of the things before we get too far from the albums, because I know we started at those albums, it was a line that was in Phillip's song, right? Whole project hard. It was a line that was in Phillip's song that I felt like was like, yo, that was like the most disrespectful rap bar ever. Do you know what line I'm talking about?
You got to give it to me.
He said, out of all the rappers, I'm the best on the East. And Phillip from the West.
Phillip is he from the West?
He
Phillip
from
is from
Garden
here.
Street.
He
from Garden
you
Street.
About
I'm
the
talking about
West Side of okay.
Yes, he
okay,
said out of
okay.
all of the rappers.
So yeah, that totally
know,
just went over my head because I.
And don't get me wrong, it could have been the East Coast, but when you live in the
That's
city,
how I perceived that bar. He meant the East Coast, but
Phillip spent a lot of his time on the West Coast in Cali and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
he did spend time
So
in Cali.
it's like if you doing that, either you're gonna talk about here or you're gonna talk about there. So when you say the East is over there. You know what I'm saying? The East over there. So it's like, oh yeah, that was like, it was hard, but it was like shade. You know what I'm saying? Like, so out of all the rappers, I'm the best on it. From the East, he not from the East. So I was like, dang. I was like, that went over people's head. I said, I'm definitely gonna talk about it on the pod.
And that absolutely speaks to the sport of hip hop. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I need to be able to create a conversation.
It go hand in hand with that, with the King talk, that legacy talking. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to drop
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? But
No, we've heard it. We've heard it, and I don't know when it's coming, but there is a bar from Legacy in his song. I think the record is called Tables Turn.
He coming swinging.
He coming swinging. He says, "I'm the king of the trap. Ain't no need in debating."
Yo, he
That's how it starts.
It's like,
look out for that Legacy No Limit project as well, man. Ah, man, let's wrap it up. Which closing statements? What you got?
Closing statements. Oh yeah, I got one. Let me put this up real quick. The Real Fun Challenge. Drop that in there. The Real Fun Challenge. I'm gonna give you a picture so you can post it up too. Maybe you could post it up in the blank space part. I'm not saying anything.
We gonna put it right there. We gonna put the picture right there in the blank spot.
Yo, so y'all look out on our page. Y'all will see this right here coming out. This right here is OnSight Media's Real Fun Challenge. This is not a challenge that is exclusive to artists. This is a challenge that is open for everybody. This is community, right? Basically, the way you'll enter is you'll subscribe to our YouTube, you'll follow us on our social media pages, Facebook and IG, and then you will submit a reel to OnSight Media Submissions, OnSight Submissions at Gmail. Once you submit your reels, we will upload them and we are going to allow the community and the audience to vote. There will be prizes and gifts given away attached to this. Whenever we post a flyer, we will post these things as well. This is a real fun challenge, So that's really just definitely look out for that. And let's build community.
Let's build community. Perfect in the statement. Again, I'm gonna stick with what the whole message of this particular episode has been, and just go and support the music, man, because you don't know what you will discover that you like until you get out of your own way, step out of your comfort zone, and discover something new. So from any of these artists that I've named, not just Wil Eye, not just Felipe, but any of them, Big Up, Billy Bands, Cassius, whoever, Legacy No Limit, whoever the artist is, just go and listen, because again, you don't know what you'll discover you like. We're influenced. I know I'll speak directly from me. If you listen to the radio like I did when I was growing up, you're influenced by the same 12 songs that the radio programmers put in rotation, that the major labels say we want to put X amount of dollars into making these people go out and support these artists. It's no different, man. So we have that same power if we discover and just support. So go out, listen. You never know what you're like.
I want my bad.
No, go.
I want to speak to like the radio songs, real quick. And this is actually something that comes from like my Narrow Pursuit podcast with Cash and Kenny. Talking about like the radio music and all that type of stuff, how you'll get programmed to it. It's not Doechii. It's Sleepy Hollow featuring Doechii. Doechii? Am I saying her name right?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay.
Doechii,
Okay.
yeah.
It's Sleepy Hollow featuring Doechii. The song Anxiety. Right now it's trending with the social media trend and everything like that. It got the dance and everything that's going on to it and whatnot. I'm about to bring a little bit of God here real quick. The thing that people don't get, anxiety actually can be an attack. This is why music is a lot of our music is detrimental, and we got to get back to community, to the core of what hip hop really was and what it started. It started as something that was for expression, to speak about change within our community. And then once it was commercialized, it's turned into something that's broke our community down. But just the song, the anxiety song, and the repetitiveness of it, plus the dances, that if you look at these dances come from, it originally comes from the scene from the Fresh Prince, right? But when you go back and even do a deeper origin on those dances have roots in African ritual dances. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're saying anxiety can be an attack from the devil. Whenever you're singing this song and you're in harmony with the dance, music plus dance equals like harmony. Like you're bringing it together. You're in agreement with what the song is, and you're calling my anxiety. You're bringing anxiety on yourself, and words have power. So it's like with the program of like the radio music and all that type of stuff like that, and you gotta really, protect yourself. Yes, this is a hip hop, or this is a cultural podcast. I don't even say it's a hip hop. This is a cultural podcast where we speak on the things in the culture. But I feel like as a leader within the culture, we have to get back to protecting our people. So as long as I'm moving within the hip hop, I'm that's how I'm gonna move going forward. And it's like we have to protect ourselves, because sometimes we don't even know the attacks that come through this music. You know what I'm saying?
Truth.
We'll see our favorite celebrities. They be with that little witch woman. I can't think of her name. You'll see them all with her, and it's like then their music be going up and all that type of stuff like that. And when you look at these people, they're into Satanism. They're into Satan and stuff like that. So we just gotta be careful, and you know what I'm saying, and protect ourselves. Most importantly, protect the kids. So that's it. That's my closing statements. I don't got nothing else.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I don't disagree with you at all. My pastor recently did a Bible teaching talking about how to deal with anxiety. So it's just amazing that you brought that up and made that point. So I don't disagree with you at all. Absolutely. What we listen to, what we take into our spirit, words do have power. We can absolutely speak things into existence, so we must be very, very careful of what we say. We know the tongue has the power of life and death in it. So really take that into consideration to, what you allow to influence your mental and your spiritual being. So
I'm definitely probably gonna put a challenge together for like artists and like music, like some type of challenge for y'all to really get creative and take some of this the violence and stuff out your music. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna put a cash prize behind it, very soon, just because I want to spark something to help expand your mind out. You know what I'm saying? I was there until I got challenged to make This Has to Stop, and it had to stop.
Go stream that record as well. This has to stop.
Yeah, this has
Dominic
to stop.
Cash, Latin Looney Tune, powerful record. We remember the whole energy behind that. The organization that was. I don't know if was it already there or whether it came after that video. But shout out to Tamika.
It has a different name to it. I don't necessarily know. This Has to Stop was the name of the event.
Got you.
Yeah. And one of my old heads challenged me, because I was going there with straight female songs. He like, how you gonna go to that event like that? He like, yo, you gotta. I'm like, bro, I don't make music like that. I sent the music. They said it was good. I'm gonna perform this. He's like, nah. He's like, you gonna make something. And my old head told me that, and he challenged me. And when he challenged me, it actually sent me on a wave of making conscious music, because I was able to actually stay at an event and see the
Get closer to the mic.
I was able to stand at an event and actually see the opposite side. I seen, you know what I'm saying, people that was affected due to some of the things that's in our music, you know what I'm saying, real life up close, and watching, like, you know, like mothers cry and all that type of stuff like that. It's like, yo, dang, I was a part of this. I was a part of that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo,
So that's how we ended. You took guidance. You took wisdom from somebody else, and it allowed you to evolve into ultimately the person that you are sitting on this podcast today. That's beautiful. Y'all stay tapped in. Continue to work on yourself.
most definitely.
Just grow. Get better every single day.
Yo, we on site. It's
On site.
content for the culture.
Content for the culture.